Oh, man, I hate Mondays.
Nah, man, it's Tuesday.
Wait. What day is it?
You know what day it is. Tuesday. Brewsday Tuesday.
Oh, fuck yeah! It's Brewsday Tuesday time with DreZ and Huck.
It is Brewsday Tuesday, and per usual, I am in studio with my man Huck from Huck's Beer Buzz.
I'm here.
Thanks for joining me as always. And we're in Studio B right now because we're joined by another guest. It is Virginia Craft Beer Month, so I'm happy to have one of Virginia Craft Beer's brewers right here in-house from Apocalypse Ale Works. Doug is with us. Doug, thanks for joining us, man.
Hey, great to be here, guys.
And thanks for bringing beer. That's the main thing.
Yeah,
it
gets me off the hook one week, right?
Yeah.
A brewer without beer is not a brewer.
Yeah,
That's true.
I wouldn't even open the studio door for you if you didn't have these growlers. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, they took in Jacksonville. They took us on a brewery tour, and they took us one that wasn't open, and they didn't have beer. I'm like, you guys don't even have a cooler of beer? Come on.
Yeah.
I'm glad you came prepared,
And
we
what,
appreciate that.
We came prepared with 2 beers today.
All right. Well, what's the first one that we're gonna be drinking? Go ahead, pop it open. Let's get it pouring, brother.
The first one that we'll do is a seasonal. It's actually a pretty long season because we did this initially as a very small batch back in March.
I'll pour while you talk.
And it was, I got you, man.
We're getting antsy
You
over
should
here.
talk.
And this beer was based on our flagship. One of our flagships is called the Red Apocalypse. And the Red Apocalypse is an Imperial Red. And we said, well, let's go ahead and, fruit's coming around a lot more than it was a few years ago. So let's add some grapefruit to it. And this actually uses grapefruit rind. We steep the grapefruit rind so we can get full flavor. It's not an extract, it's not an aroma. It's permeating through the whole thing. And so you've got the grapefruit aroma, you've got the grapefruit flavor combined with all the malts and the hops of an Imperial Red.
So it's a grapefruit IPA,
No,
or like what's it called?
it's called
For all the listeners out there.
the Grapefruit Apocalypse.
Apocalypse. Okay.
And the Apocalypse is actually depending on beer styles. Some people would category it as a double red, some people an Imperial Red. The big difference being between an Imperial Red and a double IPA is the malt profile.
Mm-hmm. Huck, you knew that, didn't you?
I did know that, and I think I've had this beer, actually.
I'm wondering if I have too. We'll check on tap too.
I had it at, I think they do the festival up at the Mountain Lake, and I think they may have had a keg of that up there.
Cool.
I think they flagged me down and said, Huck, try this beer.
You need to drink this beer. So yeah, we'll give this a little sip, but in the meantime, let's get a little background. Obviously Apocalypse Ale Works is where you're from. That's Forest, Virginia, which is near Lynchburg, right? You just say Lynchburg, is that easier?
Yeah, in between Lynchburg and Bedford.
Okay. And what's your background, man? Like, how long you been doing this? When did you guys open? Give us a little history of the brewery.
The brewery opened 3.5 years ago.
Okay.
And it was kind of a lifelong dream. I was one of those 20-year home brewers that brewed every day and just about every day. And
so the hobby turned into the gig, huh?
My wife told me, she said, listen, you got to quit your real job because you've had this dream for so long, so let's make it happen. And at the time, I was a production manager, and I wasn't very happy as a production manager. I had one of those kind of bosses that was not very pleasant to be around. And every day was the apocalypse. In fact, that's what the apocalypse to us means the end for a new beginning.
Cool. So, seriously, you were brewing every day?
Not every day.
Because for a while there, I was brewing every 2 weeks.
So some days I was a little bit
I gained 50 pounds brewing every 2 weeks. So I hope you were giving some of that away.
Before I opened the brewery, I was about 30 pounds lighter, but we won't talk about that.
When you can walk over and hit the tap that easily,
it's quality control, man.
Yeah, it's like the T-shirt. I'd tap that.
I don't. I'll be honest. If it was if a skinny brewer was trying to sell me his beer, I'd be like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about.
Everybody at Floyd Fest, I got a media pass at Floyd Fest, and they're like, media? What kind of media? I said, beer media. And they go, oh, yeah, you probably are.
Yeah, beer
they
media.
looked at my beer gut, and they're like, oh, yeah.
Clearly.
Hey, some things are worth it, aren't they, Huck?
Yeah, they are. I like it. I like to drink a lot of beer.
But so cool. So just 3.5 years doesn't sound like long, but in the grand scheme of things with Virginia craft beer, you're like probably one of the grandfathers around here that they've been popping up so quickly lately.
It's interesting. When we got our license in 2012, we were brewery number 43. And now when you look at that list, it's over 150 active breweries, and it's growing.
In Virginia.
In Virginia.
Yeah,
alone.
Virginia.
So
alone.
what's your barrelage? I mean, what are you doing? What's your
We
your
have
system?
the capacity to do 3,000 barrels a year.
On what size system?
We have a 15-barrel system, and our fermenters are 30 barrels.
You running any, bright tanks or anything? Or
Yeah, we have two 30-barrel bright tanks.
What's a bright tank?
Where they keep
I'll play
beer.
the non-beer knower over
Impressed.
here.
That's where we carbonate the beer.
Ah, okay.
So then you keg it all up, distribute some. You
Yeah.
serve it at the brewery.
We
Go
are
up there and have a good time.
we are our own best customer.
There you go. You got food up there?
We have food trucks.
What kind?
That's the way everybody does it these days.
Yeah,
it seems at
it
the
works
breweries.
good because in 2012 they changed the law that said, okay, if you're a brewery, you don't have to be a restaurant, which was perfect for us because we wanted to put our focus on what we knew best, which was making the beer. And so, but it also allowed us to have food trucks. And so we have food trucks that rotate constantly through. One day it'll be barbecue, then it'll be Mexican.
I mean, you want to give any of them a plug here? I mean, who are they?
Smoke Ring Barbecue, baby. I mean, they are the
They're
best.
good. They're good.
Yep, they
I'm a
do.
big barbecue fan. I might have to come up there just for that.
Oh, they cater. They have this thing called the pork bomb. And
there you
it's,
go.
it's smoked macaroni and cheese with pulled pork.
You had me at the macaroni and cheese.
Say my mouth just dropped open. That's
Why didn't you
stuff.
bring us a growler of that?
Well, I did. It just got empty. Before
Yeah,
I got here.
I
that
know.
was road food.
Way to go, Casey. You
Yeah,
did
way
a
to
great
go.
job on Smoke Ring.
Yeah, but no, that does seem like a good way to do it because obviously Virginia laws, they're a little wonky there. You got to have
I've
food
seen
where you serve
wonkier.
booze, but that's true. but yeah, I've been to quite a few breweries that do that same sort of setup. They'll take care of the beer, they'll have a food truck, and what's also nice about that is that instead of having to worry about managing your own menu, you might have a signature item or something, but the variety, like you said, you can have Mexican one time, you can have barbecue the next, and then you're doing burritos and Italian and Chinese.
And you're in the restroom.
Yeah.
It also allows people to bring their own food. We have people to come out all the time and do
Just get
picnics,
pizzas delivered, whatever. It's cool.
and It works out great.
So an offshoot of that is also, as of July 1st, you can now bring beer into a restaurant, which means we could buy a growler of your luscious deliciousness and carry it into a restaurant. As long as they allow it. They can charge a corkage fee.
I was going to say,
but
like,
traditionally, it's been illegal to do that.
Oh, I
It
see
was
what you're
only
saying. It's
legal to
legal to
have
do it.
samples. So we would write sample on the label of a beer. It's a lot of us that like beer will like to share too.
Ah.
We'll bring a beer.
Does that include moonshine now too?
Well,
a good
you know,
question.
we've
Huh?
always been
What a-
sharing the moonshine.
Maybe just illegal.
Yeah, you-
That's kind of like
you keep it under the
you're
table.
already on fire, so let's not go by the fire department.
That's right.
We're already we're already on the dark side there.
Well,
Well, everybody's making legal moonshine now. I had some apple pie moonshine with a label
Yeah,
and a
that's-
tax stamp on it. I'm
that's-
serious. I had it.
hey, that's BS. That ain't moonshine. I can tell you right now, that ain't moonshine.
It was tasty.
Not Franklin County.
No,
It
definitely
was
not.
close. It was close to Franklin County.
If you're buying it at the ABC store in a mason jar,
You
you're
can
doing
buy it
something
at the
wrong.
7-Eleven. I saw it today.
But
Pretty sure it's not high alcohol.
now I want to sip this beer again.
Sip that beer again.
Yeah, just a little description on that beer. Like I said, it is an Imperial Red with the grapefruit. It's 7.8% alcohol and ABV. We decided to keep it below 8 because what we decided was a lot of places now, 8%, they're only going to serve it in a 10-ounce serving
And charge more.
and charge more.
So
Yeah.
what is the grapefruit apocalypse? I have not had it. So you know what we call here at the station? We call beers over 8%. We call them Huck session beers, don't we?
Yes, we do.
We do.
I'm a man after your own heart, man.
You know, I did once
That's-
go to a barley wine festival, and I don't remember what happened, but I actually went to one. I
Well,
don't remember a thing.
You made it through it.
I did. I got it back. I'm alive.
As long as I've been brewing, there was not such a thing as session beers until a few years ago, and I'm with you. I think session beers for me start a little bit lower, maybe 7.5.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was cracking up that I went to. We've talked about this a couple times. I went to Utah, and all draft beers are 4%. So if you sold your beer there, it'd be like Imperial IPA at 4%.
Sorry, man. The Mormons can have it.
I know. That's what I said. Well, if you buy, you can have it, the real thing, but you have to buy an entree. So anyway, we're back to laws. But so, what's your spread? Are you out of Virginia? You in North Carolina, or just mostly in Virginia?
We
now?
just signed a contract in the Tidewater area, and that will give us the full breadth of the state. So we're excited
So
about that.
let me ask you a hard question.
Yeah.
Who's
Hey.
your favorite brewer? or brewery?
Let's
in
save
Virginia?
that hard question for
Okay.
after
All right,
for the next segment because let's untap this. We
right.
still got it. We still got another beer to go.
That gives you time to think.
Yeah, you can think on that
Who are you
one.
gonna
We'll
piss
stew
off?
on that
No,
one.
no,
That'll
no,
be the tease.
No, it's easy. I'll give you a quick answer because it's true. I love Hardywood.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Hardywood. I mean, the guys, Eric and Pat, they're fantastic, and they just make fantastic beer. Never had a bad one.
All right, so we untapping this bad boy?
Yeah, man, you go first. You said you never had it before. I want to
haven't
hear.
had it.
I want to follow your lead.
Oh, this is a really good beer, and you know how my rules are. I have the weird rules.
This is definitely one of your top 5 favorite beers.
It is.
Probably top 3 of your top 5.
Yep.
When it's free,
It's free.
it's in your hand.
It's in my hand. There's another
given
one
to-
coming.
Given
It's
to the
like-
given to the brewer.
The
given
brewer's
from the
here.
brewer.
So, this beer's getting a 5.
Yeah, it's gonna get
gonna get a
It's
5.
gonna get a 5, even if it tasted like
No,
urine.
it did
would
not
give it
taste
5.
like I was going to
It
talk a little
doesn't.
bit about how it tastes. I
It actually does taste
when
really
it hit
good.
my nose. When I was a young man, I used to drink the Greyhounds. That's I'm not quite the vodka and soda. It's vodka and grapefruit juice, and I got that red grapefruit right in my nose when I sipped this. I am not a huge fan of red ales, but your red ales are much better than most, and I've always liked the Apocalypse, and I really like it with the grapefruit in it. So
Appreciate it, man.
you get a 5.
Well, it's a scale to 10.
Nope, it's a 5.
Yeah, I
You
was
won.
gonna say, this
I was
is-
worried.
You're a winner.
Yeah, chicken
So
dinner.
you don't have Untapped?
Yeah, I was saying this is the Untapped app, man.
It is. It's on Untapped.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah. So Untapped. Huck's Beer Buzz is Huck's handle. I'm DreZ Drinks on there. 1 through 5 is the scale.
DreZ is tighter than me on the 5 thing.
Yeah, I don't dish out 5s
Wow.
left and right like he does. Like I know one of the beers that you brought would definitely get. I think I've already given it a 5 on Untapped, but we'll get to that later. But this one, it's definitely good. It has a heck load of head. At least I don't know if that was the pour or not, but I mean the lacing. Look at that. I mean this is.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's still sitting there very nice and pretty. The flavor was great. The aroma was great. You get that grapefruit, but it's not overwhelming grapefruit. It's not one of those fruity beers that's just like, is this a beer or is this like a juice box or something? It's just has that
They
nice
should put
little
beer in
notes to
juice
it.
boxes.
They do.
They
Well,
should do that.
They do wine.
It's
Why not beer?
my next business. I'm going in.
I don't know I don't know why not. But I will say this, man. It is a great beer. And I'm not just kissing ass. Apocalypse Ale has a lot of
Sounded
great
like-
stuff,
sounded a little like
but it is a really good beer. I'm not going to give it a 5 because it's not perfect in my opinion, but it's definitely a good session beer. I love the high ABV as well. That always gets a little bump, so I'm going to give it a 4.5. It's
Thanks, man.
definitely up in the books.
Awesome.
It's a great beer. That's, of course, the Grapefruit Apocalypse from Apocalypse Ale Works. Doug is in the house. Of course, Huck is as well. We're going to step aside. We'll play a tune, and we'll be back with round 2 of Brewsday Tuesday right after this. Stick around.